and welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes. I'm just going to check that we've come on screen correctly. I've had a few hiccups lately. I've got out of practice. Technology and I are never great. So, it looks like we are. So, we'll get started in a minute, but I just wanted to say how exciting this week's going to be with the new catalogue coming out. I'd love to show you inside, but I can't. So, I could show you the cover, and I can show you some of the things that we're doing today, that will be from this catalogue. And I'm going to use some of the new colours from the catalogue. So if you haven't got a catalogue, you're going to want one next week so that you can grab all these great products. Give me a hoy and I will organise to get you a catalogue. So I think I will flip you straight down to the desk and show you some of the things we've got today. So this is where I tend to go wrong, so just bear with me while I try and get this. No, I think we're back with you. I think we're okay. I'm just going to now flip this around. I'll put this here so you can see my catalogue, but I'll just flip this around, and that way we've got it up the right way. We'll get those out of the screenshots because I want you to be able to see exactly what we're doing today and have a look through this catalogue next week. So we'll bring in the craft mat. I always craft on grid paper so that I can get things straight and I can see what I'm doing, lining up different things. Now, I'm going to start with showing you some cards I've made that are in the new in colours. So we have copper clay. I'm going to move this over a bit. We're a bit far over. Copper clay, pebble path, boho blue. If we go up a bit, I'll fit in moody mauve, and wild wheat. Now on these you can see some of the things that come in the in colours, and Stampin' Up are fantastic to get things to match up. We've got the designer series paper and I've used two different pieces here. I've got here the beautiful ribbon that comes in each of the colours. I've used actually the Cheerful Daisies here to cut these out, and these are some of the in colour gems, and they're quite shiny and eye-catching. You get your cardstock and your inks and your textures and not textures, like markers they call them, and of course your blends. So today we're going to use a few of these things, and I'll just pop them aside. But I also want to tell you about those that live near Ballarat. Come and join me for Coffee and Cards on Tuesday, because we're going to use this new set, which I've just received. Haven't even, if I open it up, haven't even taken them off the sheet yet. Brand new. So we're going to use this set, and it comes with, it's a bundle, it comes with a matching punch, and it's a great big circle, which is going to be fantastic. I can see myself using this punch all the time, particularly since we haven't got now the layering circles, which was my go-to. So I'll be using this, I can see a lot. And this has got lots of lovely options in it. So come and join me and we'll be making a card using these at Coffee and Cards. And all the details are on my site. So jump on and have a look, and we can, I'd love to see you at Coffee and Cards. We have a lot of fun there. Now we're going to use, as I said, the Cheerful Daisies set with the dies. And it comes with, where did they? Oh, well, we'll look at these first. I'll find where I pull it. Oh, there they are. Where I place the other two parts of it, the suite. So the suite contains the bundle, which is the Cheerful Daisies, and you get 3 different daisies in it. This and 2 stamps for each daisy. So you could use either an outline or a fill-in, or you could try them both together. With this, the large daisy, the small daisy, and the daisy on the side. You've got 2 different centres, one for the large, and the small does both. The small centre does both these daisies. It's got a flower, a leaf, a branch or twig, and some flowers here in a little group. And it's got 4 sayings. You've made my day. Oops, a daisy, sorry. Wishing you the brightest birthday, which is the one I used on these cards. And your friendship means everything. Over here, we've got the fantastic dies. We've got the stem or twig gets cut out. The flowers can be cut out. The centre of the flowers can be cut out. The small flower can be cut out. The large flower, the sideward flower. You've also got a little, what do we call these? Just a little shape that you can use to put your sayings in, which again is on these cards here. And you've got these daisies, these centre pieces, which cut these out, and this big piece. So, and I've just layered those up. So you'll see what I'll do with those today, because I'm going to use this big piece again to show you how you can use it. And I did show, if you didn't see, in my unboxing this week, these papers, and they're gorgeous. We're actually going to be using some of this boho blue paper, but I'll show you quickly this paper, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So we have these lovely daisies, and this could be in a bit of a mess. It is. It's back and front and all over because I've been playing with it. So we've got these lovely daisies. And this piece, I think, would be ideal, even just for a scrapbook page. But it'll make some fun cards as well, or some beautiful cards. And on the back is the copper clay. So this is all the in colours with it. And this is a busy piece, but make a nice, bright, cheerful card with daisies. And on the back is the Pebble Path. I've got to get my head around all these new names. This piece, lovely and soft. It's in the colours of the Moody Mauve. And on the back is Wild Wheat. And this piece is a great piece because you can cut out different card fronts. I love this one. You can see I love that colour. I'm wearing it. That's actually Pretty Peacock, which is returned. And then you've got these, all these could be card fronts. You could layer up some daisies on this one. All lots of ideas that can be done for those. And on the back is the Moody Mauve. We've got this one, nice daisies, again paired up here with some Pretty Peacock and the copper clay. And on the back is some Pretty Peacock, and it looks like garden green. And this is the last one. It's again a layer of daisies, and it's on the backing of the pebbled path. Get my tongue around it, and that's got the boho blue on the back, and that's what we're using today, as I said. So those are the papers it comes with, and it also comes with these little gems, and they are in Lemon Lolly, boho blue, and copper clay. And I'll just pop them out. So that's what the suite comes with. You've run away. Go back where you belong. fix you up later. Oh no, yeah, I'm going to lose him. That's all right. So it comes with these as well. And so it makes a lovely little set for making cards. So let's get started. I'll just put all these to the side for the minute. I am going to start with the copper clay as my base. And so I'm going to cut with the trimmer this in half, and that makes a card. So you cut it at 14.8 millimeters, and that is the halfway mark. I'll pop that aside for another card, and then you score it at 10.5, and that makes your card front, or your card base, I should say. So we'll score that, and then use the bone folder to get a nice sharp. And I just make sure that they're running the same level there and run my bone folder over it. And that straightens that up and gives us a nice card base. And then we'll bring back in this lovely piece of boho blue, and I'm going to cut this. I usually cut them in strips of 10 centimeters because that makes the basics of a card front. And then I know when I'm finished with this piece, because I only need half of it, if I can use either side and it'll fit on a card front. And I'll show you. I'll just cut this. I'm cutting this down a little bit though, so the other one will be a bit longer. I'm cutting this so that I have a little bit of card base showing on the sides. So 0.5 centimetre smaller at 14.3. And then that's my scrap, and I can trim that down, and that could make a different card front. Or I could use the blue again. So I try to use it so I don't waste a lot of paper and I get the best benefit out of it. Now I don't want this to be as big as 10 centimetres though, so I'm going to cut this one down down at 9 centimetres, so I have a 1 centimetre strip, and I'll show you what we're going to do with that shortly. So we'll pop those all aside. And the other thing I need to do is cut a piece for inside the card. And so I'm going to cut this piece at, again, 14.3 because I want it the same as size as this boho blue piece. So 14.3. Pop my scrap in the bin. I've got a recycling bin down here. And then this piece comes off, and that goes back into my scraps that I can use because that would make a label for something. So this piece now is the same size, ready to go in the centre of the card. And that's all the cutting done. So what I'm going to do to prepare my card front and the inside of the card, first of all, I'm just going to glue this on here so that it just mimics a little bit of the blue inside the card. And you don't need a lot of glue. I sort of do a little squizzle and then spread it out a bit. And just too much glue and it goes everywhere. Just glue that to the bottom. And my tip to get it so that you know it's straight is I stand it up and push it down on both sides. It's a bit hard to see, so I'm pushing down like that. Perhaps if I do it on an angle there, so that it's down to the bottom and it's straight. And there is that piece done. And to decorate the inside and the card front, I'll stack my blocks up. I'm going to use, I'll show you on the thing, on the stamp case. I'm going to use this little trio of daisies. And I'm going to stamp it in boho blue. Now, on the front, I'm going to stamp it just off to the side. Probably can't see because my hand's in the way. So just like that. I'm going to stamp one down here and one up here. And then on this piece, I'm going to do the same. I'm going to stamp one to the side here, one down here, and one up here. So that I've got some colour inside the card and it mimics the front. Now I'll pop that aside to when we finish the card. I'll pop my stamp aside, we don't need that again. That stamp's used. And we don't need the boho blue again. Now, the next thing we're going to do, so pop them all aside, I'm going to get out my mini Stampin' Cut, and I've got the one that came out in boho blue, and as you can see, it's a lovely match. And I believe there's a chance that these may be coming back. At the moment, these mini emboss and cuts are only in, where did I put my pattern, my things? They're under here, my plates. At the moment, they only come in white, but I think they're coming back. There might be another little round to come in blue. So you set your plates up as an E. Put them around the right way. So plate 1, plate 2, either a little bit forward or a little bit back, and the other plate 2, the same as plate 1. So I'm going to cut out, first of all, out of this wild wheat. I'm going to place that there, and I'm going to cut this piece. And I need to turn it so I can fit it in. I'm using a scrap. Hello, we've got some white still there from the other day when I made the other cards. So I'll just get that out. I just used a pick to push it out. There's more. There's more. There's steak knives. We'll just push these out. So that we get a clean cut. Didn't realise. All right, that looks better. So we'll pop that down on there, and I'll pop this level with the number 1, and we'll pop that through. And it's a bit stiff at first. There we go. I'm going to run it backwards to make sure all the detail has come through onto the paper. And there we have it. And he didn't cut that side bit. That's it. So I'll just see how sometimes the little things stay in. You just take your pick tool or the point of your scissors, or your snips, and just push them through. I just push them onto the table and then later on swipe them into the bin. Couple up here. I'm off screen, aren't I silly? If I do it on the table, you can't see. See, I'm just pushing these through. Right, we'll push them over the side. So that piece is done. I'll pop that aside, and I'll just push these out using the pick again, or your scissors, but you have to be careful not to bend your scissors tips. I did that once before. You go back on there. These are easy, they just slide in and you twist it. So that looks clean, ready to be put away. I'm also going to cut out of the copper clay some of the branches here, the twigs, stems, whatever you want to call them. Now, I haven't used much of the copper clay, so I have to use, usually I save my half cards for doing card bases, but I haven't used much of the copper clay yet. It's so exciting to have all new papers and things. So I'm going to run this back and forth again because it's a very detailed die. And to get this one out, just push the pieces through in the middle, and then there's little holes. You can just push the end there, and you try and catch the paper and just peel it off. Now I need a second one of those, so let's get that through quickly. There's a few bits to prepare, but the card comes together fairly quickly. Grunt and groan, grunt and groan. Those are the plates, they're well used plates, and they're just grunting under the pressure. So we've got those. Pop that one back away so I don't lose it. Pop those in the bin out of the road. And we've got one more bit of cutting to do. And again, I need to get some paper out. Now, when I'm cutting, I work out how much paper I need. And I'm grabbing these ones, and you can see I've actually drawn around all the different pieces so that I know when I put them all back, such as this one, I know where it goes. So I'm putting him back. I know I need this piece, and this piece, and this piece, and this piece can go back here, and that way I know I haven't lost any and they're all back where they belong. So I'll pop them aside, and to work out how much room, how much I need, and I won't need a lot, so I'll just cut it down the side here. I'll do that with the trimmer, so I use this to measure. So what I tend to do, so I've got plenty, I don't waste anything, and I've got a straight edge to work on the next piece. I just use the trimmer and quickly do that. And that can go back into my scraps for use, and this bit we can then put through the machine. And I'll show you, I'll try and layer it up on the side here and then put it in. So I'm going to try and get all these through at once. My bottom piece is a bit curved. My numbers 2 plate there. That's why it's going click, click, click. Now, We just pop those. Go back on. We'll get these on the machine and then we'll pop it through. That's because this plate's a bit curved. I might actually put it the other way so that it's not going to jump around as much. It was curving up in the middle, so these didn't like it. We'll just get all these on. And run it through. And again, I'll be running it through twice once I get it going. There we go. So I'll run it forward. Actually, this will probably be enough, just running this one through. Once, we'll put you over there. And plates over there, out of the road. There's a bit of scrap to go. And this one needs to be encouraged out also. And again, you just got to gently move this one out. I just tap all the holes in it, and then once I've got a piece lifted at the back, and instead of being rough with it, I try to go very gentle, or otherwise it tends to tear the centre here. So I'm just easing up the next one. Once you've got 2 or 3 pieces up, you then can hold it halfway and it comes up a lot easier. But I found you had to be a bit gentle with that one. Okay, we're going to pop these again. I'm popping them away straight away so I don't lose them. And that one's moved. I need to pop you in there, in there. Nothing more annoying than having one piece of your dies missing. So we're about to now put this card together. First we're going to put the flowers together. And the first thing I'm going to do that is I want to colour in these stems. And I did bring my pen. This is one of the markers, Stamp and Write marker. And it's in the new colour Copper Clay. And these have new ends on them. I can grab an old one. This end is the same, and it actually says this is the thicker end, or the brush end, with a thicker stripe. And this end is thin, and it's more like a texture. So I'll just... And this end is thicker. And to show you the difference, if I pull out one of the older ones, that's what the end used to look like. And this is what it looks like now. And so this used to be very, very thin, where this one now, wrong pen, has, you can colour with it. This one, you really couldn't. So it just gives you an idea what it's like, the new textures are like, or new markers are like. Now, back to our card. We're just going to colour in the centre, which would be darker or a different colour to the petals. And I'm using the same as the base of the card, the Copper Clay. It's a lovely colour. I actually love all these colours. The more I'm using them, the more I love them. And it's just as quick as that. Just the centre bits. And if I move it off where I was colouring, you might see it better. So it comes through, the white's still coming through, but the centres now are coloured. And then I'm going to take a little bit of glue and I'm going to glue the white pieces over, and I only do a couple of little dots on each sort of piece just to hold it down. And it just sits in like this. And the same with this one. And I don't know if you can see, but there's all little grooves throughout this petal. So it's got quite a 3D look. These top pieces. Come on. You'll see me sitting for or not ages, but as I'm trying to get the most out of my glues, as they get less and less in them, I spend a lot of time shaking the glue down to the bottom. And that's just got a little bit too much glue and it's sprung out, so I'll just wipe some of that away. And this one again, and I don't want to do too much. Trouble is sometimes it comes out too fast, so I use the tip to spread it. And it's going over here. Like so. Now that's the flower done for the front of our card. Got a bit of glue underneath that one. Just tear that off. And I'm going to stamp our sentiment on here. And I'm using the Oops-a-Daisy So Sorry. And I always giggle at this. My daughter was a huge fan of Upsy-Daisy. And we often used to say Oops-a-Daisy, Upsy-Daisy to her. So just a little gentle colouring. I'm trying to match it up so it's straight. I hope my head's not in the row. There we go. Oops-a-daisy. So we've got our pieces, all our pieces of the card. So we're now going to put them all together. I shouldn't have left the lid off that. But I'm going to add some ribbon too. So first thing I'm going to do is take this piece. And I've got my ribbon scissors here. I always keep a pair of ribbon scissors because they cut so much better. And I'm just going to cut a piece of ribbon that length. And I don't know what that length is, but that's how I measure when I'm doing a card. I just place it on. And I'm going to show you how I get this so it's straight. There doesn't seem to be any front side or back side of this ribbon. Now I'm placing it along the third grid mark up, and I'm going to put my card at the bottom. Right? And then I'm just going to put a bit of tape at either end where the ribbon is. That's a bit teared tape. And just turn it over. So my ribbon's loose at the front, so I can actually do something with it at the front, which I'll show you after. So that's pieces on. The next thing I'm going to put on is my flower. And he's going to sit like so. Now, I also, though, need to get these in before I stick the flower down. So I usually sit my flower there and I put a little, just a couple of bits of drops of glue on it and spread it up the branch as thin as I can. And then I just slide this in to where I want it. And take the flower off for a minute and just dab any excess. Pop it back on. And I'll do the same with this piece. But I don't want all this piece. There's too much because I'm going to put it down there. So I'm going to break off these two and leave that bit. And again, it's just a little bit of glue. And he's actually going to go under the ribbon. And just over a little bit on the edge. And I don't mind actually that bit of glue there because that'll help stick this on. So this is the next piece. And I'm just going to dab a bit of glue all up the petals. A little bit up here so they stick down. And I want him just to sort of lie about here. I'll just hold him, push him down all over. Right. And just try and keep my ribbon a bit straight. Oh, we've got to do this one. Now this one, because it's going to be stuck here over the ribbon, I'm actually going to use tear and tape because this multi-purpose glue doesn't stick that well to the ribbon. It will stick eventually, but it takes a long time to dry. So I'm just doing two so that I get some of it on the, not just onto the ribbon, but onto the card stock or the card base, card front. I'll get it right one day. And I want to just get that petal up the front. Just like that. Right. I'm also going to take my ribbon and I'm going to cut a piece. I haven't got my ribbon scissors. Cut a piece. And I'm going to just slide it in under there. This is how you do a knot without, like make it pretty without doing a bow. And just do a knot. And it's going to go this way. I actually don't want it that way. I want it to go the other way. So I'll do the knot the other way. No, I have to do it this way. It's all in which one goes under and to make it go the right way. So that's just given us a bit of colour and a bit of, it looks like we've tied it at the front, tied all the ribbon around at the front, and I'm just going to trim that a bit more. And trim this one. And that's the card front done. Get all those bits off. So we're just going to stick it on. And I just again use the multi-purpose glue because it gives you wiggle room so you can get it straight. And I'll stick this one on the inside. And there's glue gone everywhere. Okay, and so that's my card. Now I am going to put some bling on it because I'm a big one for bling. And I'm going to use the copper clay ones, and I think I'm just going to use some little ones. So I'll put one here, one here, and one maybe up here. So that's my card that I've made using the Cheerful Daisy set and all the new in colours. So I hope you like it, and I hope you enjoy using the Cheerful Daisy set. I found it a fun set to play with. So I'll pop you back around. Let's see if we can sort out this camera again. We're just going to... That should be all right. Yes. We'll just get it up a bit higher. Sometimes it snicks down a bit. So again, that's the card we made today. Hopefully, if you like this, you'll grab this wonderful, wonderful suite that's in the new catalogue. And if you need a new catalogue, let me know. If you can near Ballarat and you can come along to Coffee and Cards, come along and we'll have a little play with this set and we'll see what we can do. And I'm going to make a birthday card actually. I think it might use a cupcake. I won't tell you. I haven't made it yet. I'll surprise everyone who comes. All right. Thanks for joining me today. Hope you had a lovely time, and I'll be back next Saturday in the craft room. Take care. Bye.